Okay, guys, welcome to Tech Tuesday, and this is a PowerSchool edition. And so I kind of want to walk you through a couple things with that. But first things first, we need to go to our Tech Tuesday folder. And so there's a couple different ways to get there. You may have added it to your drive, like I have, and so you could go here to Tech, right? And Tech Tuesdays is what you're looking for, and ultimately what you're hoping to do is get to 1617, which is us this year. And you can find this week's folder and find some stuff in there. If you're having a hard time doing that, if you just type in Tech Tuesdays, right, that might get you there, and hopefully a folder will pop up like right here. Also, it might be shared with me, so I think everybody had it shared with them, so you'll just have to kind of look, and then it might be in here as a folder. So but we'll get there in just a sec. And so there's a couple things we're going to need to do there. And so week one has a doc, and if you could open that up, that would be great. And that is there's another copy of it, but the Tech Tuesday has a sign in. Really, this should probably say sign out. That's a little bit more accurate. And you're going to click this and go down here to the blue link just below, and you'll click it. And after kind of attending our virtual session, you'll put this, and this. And so I just did a quick update of our Tech Tuesday sign in, and if you could just let me know, did you attend an in-person session or an online one? That would be another helpful thing. So additionally in the folder is just a picture, but that's more kind of for this, and that is a skill check. So if you are watching here at home at some other time, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and take an 8-question skill check just to make sure you know what you're doing with PowerSchool. And if you pass with a 90% or higher, then you get credit for attending just like you would in person. So this is the goal of this our session here is, one, installing the app and making sure that that is on your computer in the way that it should be, installing our gradebook, which these two kind of go hand in hand, to show you where student information is. So if you need to find somebody's schedule, their grades, or their parent contact information, how to take attendance if you have TAs in just one click rather than multiples, and how to design seating charts, and to look at our gradebook and how one can get reports from there, lots of different types of reports, how you can export your stuff, for example, for your SLO template, and about grade syncing to make sure that Schoology and PowerSchool are talking to one another. So we'll get going on that in just a second. Okay, so what you need to do then is to go here to launch to kind of get the gradebook and get it onto your actual computer. And you're not actually going to click the launch button. So that's not what you're going to click. You're going to go down here to older launch, and you're going to download it. And you can't really see that, so give me 1 second. There we go. And so you're going to say, yes, I want to keep this. And then it will open up right here. And you might have this, right? It's saying warning. Basically, we don't know who this is from. And so what you're going to have to do then is hit OK. And you're going to go to your settings. So a quick way to go there is here. And then System Preferences, right? Your Apple to your System Preferences. And you're going to go to Security and Privacy. And basically it's asking about this program, Launch Gradebook, and you can click Open Anyways, right? And that will allow you to get going. And you'll click the Run button, and it'll load up. Okay, so here you would find your gradebook, and so this is actually a screenshot of mine, so I had to blank out student names, but here you should be able to see your student scores, and hopefully if Schoology is kicking over things correctly, that it's proof that it's syncing well. Also up here you have kind of individual specifics about assignments, student information, grade setup, which we should have done here in the beginning of the year, Class content is something you probably won't use, but reports is really what's going to be most helpful for you. So here over in student reports or student information, if you clicked on a student's name, it'll pop up here. And so there's some quick contact information, name, birthday, their parent email address. So that's some pretty helpful stuff if you need to get some quick information. But now on to reports. So here in reports, you can do a couple different things. So let's pretend you wanted a student roster, right? Just a straight up list of your students. You can get this in a PDF or basically like an Excel file. You can select a class. We've not really had a lot of success with the active class button. So you basically have to do one class at a time, right? Click down here and here and here. And then any other information you want. So let's pretend we want gender and grade level, right? And then we're going to run the report. And you're just going to click open and OK. So it should open up something like this in preview. And once again, your student names would be here and not blacked out, but then any of the information that you had, which is pretty helpful for a sub or, for the first couple days as you're getting to know your students, or if you want a field trip or something like that. So there's several others that you could kind of look in for. So an individual report is what a student has done in your class as far as assignments wise, or a score sheet. We'll list the students' grades and all the assignments. One quick thing to show you here is attendance grid. And this is a kind of a MacGyver way of doing things, but let's assume you want like a piece of paper to put down student scores. And we're just going to select 15 days. So I checkboxed no dates. And I selected 15 days here up at attendance grid, and I'm going to run that report. And so now we have a list of our students, right? And then you could write in your descriptions and their scores. So this is a good paper copy if you wanted to be able to keep, a physical copy of, for notes or a project or whatever, maybe a check-in, right, or a checklist of what students are doing or have not done. All right, so so far we've kind of talked about the app a bit, although I did neglect to tell you something, so I'll show you now. And that is, odds are if you downloaded that program, it should be something like Gradebook, right? It'll look like a little coffee cup. And what you're probably going to want to do is drag that into something like your documents, and we're going to stop it. But here in my documents, that's where mine is, right? And then I just double click that, and that will launch your actual gradebook. It'll look like something like a little ABC book, right? And that'll launch this, in which you can get reports from and do some grades. So we've kind of done this, right? And we also looked at reports. And we'll go back there real quick. And just a heads up, what I was kind of describing is if you went to your gradebook or really any of these other things, like a roster, right, and you wanted it as a CSV file, this is an Excel file. If you download any of these, then you can copy and paste from that list right into something like your SLO data. So it's a good way to get your student names. I sent out that other video, but this is another way to kind of do that same thing. So we'll go and give ourselves some more checks that we've kind of covered some things. And so now we're going to find student information, and that will actually be on the PowerSchool website, so not on the gradebook program that we just did. So let me get that all ready for us. Okay, so you need to be here in PowerSchool, right? And hopefully this looks pretty familiar now by taking attendance. And we have a couple different icons right here. And so we have our attendance, right? We have our seating chart, designing seating chart we'll get to. This is like a lunch count. We don't really use this. And this is student information right here. So I'll show you kind of a little bit of each of these in just a moment. And so when you select on that backpack and for the course, so this is my first period American history, and then all my students' names would be listed here. They're blue, and so they're hyperlinked. So if you click them, it should quickly tell you some information about their schedule, right? And then several other reports that are pretty helpful. So term grades, We have our student photo, right, which will get there eventually. Our students don't have them quite yet, but they should be in the next couple weeks. Their schedule, demographics, so stuff about their personal information like their address. You can even look at how many credits they have. So I think some pretty helpful stuff if you're trying to learn a little bit more about a student. Okay, so this next one is we're going to show you how to take multiple attendances. So for example, if, here we go, get back to PowerSchool. Oh, here we go. So I have a TA during my 11th period, and so I have to click this and I have to click this, which is, you know, not terrible, but slightly annoying. But instead, if you were to go to click on this, and obviously your names would be here, but if you go to show multiple sections, that will include your TA, and then you can scroll down and hit submit if everyone's present, and you're good to go. Right? There's also a submit button up here. So that's one of our other tricks. And let's see what's last on the list. So we'll look at seating charts here in just a moment, and then we'll look at grade syncing, and that'll be it. So for seating charts, what we're going to need to do then is click on this button, and ultimately what will show up is something that looks pretty darn close to this. And so you'll probably be on this seating chart tab, and it'll just have your students in rows, but the tab over here is seating chart design. Will give you a lot more abilities to kind of change those as you see fit. And so there's a couple options. So one, your students should already be in there, but two, you can populate this. If you click on this, you can choose something like alphabetical or male, female, every other, or something like random. And then there's some other options. You can click and drag around people. I can't do this because this is obviously just a screenshot, but you can move people around to be kind of partially centered or off-centered from each other. You can put in things like a teacher's desk, right, or where's the screen or the door for a sub. You can put in rows and tables and chairs for each student. When you take them out, let's assume you hit remove. They'll jump over here, and then you can drag them into another location. And when you're done, you can hit save. There's also the undo button if you make a mistake, and that'll be your seating chart. Another pretty helpful tool, I thought, as far as you know, some new stuff on PowerSchool. And let's go to our list. And the last thing then is, so we did seating charts. We can give ourselves some points there. And so the last thing is grade syncing, and that is actually a Schoology thing more than anything else. So here we are on Schoology, and I'm on the home page, but let's pretend I want to go to a course. Right, and what you're going to need to go then is down here to the PowerSchool app. Right, and this will show you how to best do what we're saying. So making basically the gradebook talk to Schoology. And so one, I can see that things are pretty successful, right? So they've not yet taken this, so it's not yet synced. So that's good. However, if I wanted to do a live sync, right, I could just go over here, and I could see, you know, that these were all synced here recently. But if you click sync all, it'll take it second, right? So this is a status thing, and hopefully in a moment it will get there. So this is not cooperating, but if you wait long enough, so basically queued is, I think, the Canadian way of saying you know, waiting, and so eventually it'll get there. But mine have already kind of done this, so it's kind of a goofy example. But nevertheless, you can force it to live update. So let's assume you took you know, you gave a quiz or a test, and you want that to go right into PowerSchool, so that teachers and you know, parents, more importantly, probably know. Then you can do that. So just a quick reminder before we get out of here is you'll need to click out and sign out right here, and so just quickly fill that out. And also this skill check, right? So you're gonna just need to fill out that. That should all be in the folder, and then you are good. All right, thanks guys. Have a great one.